is shining through. What's up? What's up? What's up? Just the two of us. That's it right there. Yep. Just the two of us right here. Can we make it? Yes, we can. Just the two of us. I look kind of buff, don't I? I do. I look kind of buff. I think. I wish.
I'm Tawana.
I'm Michael.
And we are the
Can't Get Right Couple.
And today's video is one of those videos that everyday Americans or anybody around the world could possibly deal with. And that is blended families. Now, for me personally, our relationship, we are not a blended family.
Yes, we are. She's light skinned and I'm dark skinned, so now we blended. There you go. We're blended family. Go ahead.
Anyway, so we have not personally in our relationship dealt with a blended family. Excuse me, why are you all up in? I'm trying to do.
You my caramel cream in my coffee. Okay,
whatever.
There you go.
Anyway,
yeah.
Like I said,
how you doing?
Can you please stop blocking?
Are you doing okay? How have you been doing? You look beautiful.
I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm doing good. I'm just maintaining.
Since you want to keep blocking me and talking about this video, why don't you go ahead and start talking, my brother?
That's okay. I'm gonna let you talk.
That's okay.
No, I just wanted.
You made it perfectly clear.
I just wanted to see how you was doing.
What I got to say.
Oh, I definitely want to hear what you got to say. And she's
anyway, y'all. Like I was trying to say like a minute or two ago.
I love you so much.
We have never personally been, between me and him, been in a blended family.
I love you,
but
though.
We know people that are close to us that are a part of blended families. I have a few girlfriends that are blended families. And while we're not personally our relationship blended family, we know a little bit about blended families. So the first thing I'm just gonna say.
So let me ask you a question: when you're dealing with a blended family, well, there is some different dynamics that go along with it. Do you think a lot of the same principles still apply to a blended family as if it was just a regular, built up family?
I personally think that up to an extent, because since you are coming into a family on either side that's already been made, as far as children, you have to respect the parent. You have to respect the other parent of that child. So it does hold a big how can I say? If, for example, I'm coming in with my 3 kids, and you don't have any kids.
Amen.
But their father is still alive and kicking and still in their lives. But they don't live with them. They live with me and you, because now me and you are one as being married. Then they have to respect you because we are in the household together. But they also have to respect their father.
Okay. Now, and
regardless.
Also, I completely agree with you. And also, I think if, just like she was saying, if it was a situation with us, then I think it would have to be my responsibilities as their stepdad, right?
Yes. As
their stepdad, to encourage them to always continue to want to have a relationship with their dad as well, too. I have to encourage that.
Yes. This is one of those, we want to try to make this a little bit funny, but it's a real touchy subject for a lot of people.
Well, you better show some respect,
because especially when you become a blended family and your kids are already older, say 9 and up, because during that 9-year-old time, they know right from wrong. They know what's right to say and what's wrong to say. And they know the difference between being respectful and not being respectful. So I'll have to say at the age of I would say 9. You can go 7, but they still in that mind frame of, they still kind of like adjusting. 9-year-old, they know what's going on. They know what time it is.
So let me ask you this: what type, respect is, earned, not given. So with that being said, is how should the mom be towards the kids if they're disrespecting the stepfather?
You have to lay the smack down. Yes, he is not your biological father, but he is here trying to help as a combined family to help raise you, and that person is still giving you what your father would give you, your biological father would give you. So you still have to show that respect. I've heard so many, children that's not respecting the stepfather or the stepmother because you're not my mother, you're not my father, so you can't tell me what to do. Boo boo, if you need something and you're calling me on my phone and I'm there to help you, you're gonna give me that respect. Point blank.
Well, is there a time to draw the line to that then if they're not being respectful? If I'm the stepfather and these kids are your kids are living with me because I accept them.
So you can't say your kids. Once we're married,
it's our kids.
It's our kids.
Okay, but I'm gonna need you.
Being a blended family is. You think being married is hard? Coming together into a blended family that's already been pre-made is super hard, especially like I said with kids that are already
prefabricated.
Yeah, especially with the kids that are already older because they know who their mother and their father is. And the person that's stepping up, not to take over, but if you're
to
living
stand in
up,
the gap,
to stand in and bridge that gap in between the biological mother and father, that's freaking hard, yo.
And
that's
it's
hard. And it's hard on the adults, but it's super hard on the kids because when you have the children living in one household with the mother and the stepfather, they have their own set of rules. And when they go to their actual father house, he has his own set of rules. And, you just never know. People, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's super hard. It's very hard.
I think, well, for one thing, it's now no longer just 2 parents involved. It's 3, sometimes 4 if the dad or mom has been remarried. Now you're talking about 4. So now as the adults, they definitely have to sit down and they definitely have to have a relationship. They don't have to love each other,
but they have to co-parent and they have to be on a level where
they have to be mature about the situation and knowing that we're going to have this relationship while these kids are home, and even when they leave home, when situations come up, then we as a 4, we're going to have to sit down. We're going to have to figure out, you know what I'm saying? So,
and some tips that you can, like we said, we are not a part of a blended family, but we've seen people in the heartache and pain, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to help those people, to give them some advice. Like some tips that you can do is y'all have like a monthly meeting or a monthly talk.
Yes.
All together so y'all can be on the same page. Especially if this is a child where like between a 7 and a 10-year-old where they are going to the parents' house, they are leaving the house to go to their father's house. Everybody needs to be on one page, especially with girls with hair and how they dress and different things like that. Because at the end of the day, if y'all got remarried and y'all plan on being together for a while, these are the things that are still going to come up. So it's not just about, I'm with him now and he's taking care of my 3 kids. It's not about that. It's a lot more to it. And I think people really, instead of just jumping in and out of relationships, y'all really need to just sit and talk and see what y'all can do to make the relationship better for the child, because it's not the adults. It's not the adults that are being tugged back and forth. It's the actual children.
Yeah.
that are in the mix of it, and they're being pulled back and forth, and they become confused, and that's why they lash out and they rebel against both parents, because there's no structure, there's no complete structure on what's going on.
I have to say that, just like she said earlier about if you think being married with a regular family is hard, you have to take communications, and you got to times it by 2, because
really
now
about 4 or
you know what
5.
I'm saying. The communication, in order to make all of this work smoothly, and everyone is still happy and everyone is still getting along for the sake of the kids, then that communication is going to have to rise to another level than what it was before. Because now you don't have the parent coming home every day so you could just, hey, let's just talk. Now you got to make time for that communications. You got to fit that in, and you guys always got to know what's going on with each other concerning the kids. Once again, you don't have to love each other, but you guys have to be adult enough that you guys are going to put your differences or whatever you guys might have just split because, hey, you guys just fell apart, and that's okay, because that's what people do, or you got a divorce or whatever. But either way you look at it, the communication between the two families have to be bigger than ever, because it's so vital for the kids. And and one thing you don't want to do is another thing, not to get off the topic, but when the kids are with their mom and the stepdad, or when they with their dad and their stepmom, do not try to persuade the kids to feel one way or another about the parents. You got to teach the kids that your father and I, your mother and I, we didn't get along, or we didn't see eye to eye, or we weren't going to be together no more. But I want you to still love them. Don't talk down. Do not talk down. Don't talk down to the other one while you have the kids. Well, your dad, he's so and so, he ain't worth a dime, or your mom,
and also
she ain't worth a dime.
don't talk to your current partner out loud in front of them either, because even if you're not talking directly to the children, they can still, that and so and so ain't nothing, they ain't doing this, they ain't doing that, and they hear that and they learning what to say, what to do, and how to manipulate the situation. So once that child do go to their other parent's house, then they start looking at their other parent differently. And they start saying sly stuff, and they start being disrespectful. And that's so bad. Now that becomes a problem for that family. Now they're gonna have to call you and be like, "Yo, what are you talking about? What are y'all talking about? That this child is learning about adult stuff. And they're not supposed to be learning about adult stuff anyway."
I think that's the sad part when it comes to blended families, is because it's so many times in a relationship, from what I've seen, and we, first of all, we've been around a lot of different people, and because of the military, we've been around so many different types of people since, in 20 years. So because of that, we're not someone who just I just live in location A, and I've been in location A now my whole life. So I'm only seeing a small range of people. So being in the military, being moving a lot, you see this, it's more common than just, it's in my neighborhood. It's all over the place, and you see this, and people coming together with families. So this is the experience that we speak on, and it will not work if the couples are not mature enough to handle this, because they do. I mean, if you don't have anything nice to say about your ex to your kids, then just don't say anything at all. You see what I'm saying? That's the best policy, because now, more so than just a regular relationship, kids are listening. Remember this.
And they soaking up a whole lot more than you think they are. When I tell you,
they are soaking up.
They are soaking up everything. They can look at you, and they don't have. It's crazy though, because they don't have short-term memories. They have long-term memories, and that's what's sad. Because I could say something about my ex to him or whatever, and it could be directly in front of the child, and like 3 weeks later, that child will bring up the same thing I said. I didn't forget what I said. but the child can remember every
Verbatim.
single thing that I
word
said,
for word.
word for word. So you have to be very, very careful on what you say around your spouse about the parent, because and first of all, you got to be mature enough to even not talk about that. Now, if things are not going that well, if the person is not if it's financial, or they're not doing what they're supposed to do by visits and all that other stuff, that stuff you need to just go ahead and go to court. You shouldn't, even though you're married and they took on that responsibility, you still need to go down to the court. It's too much going back and forth, he says, she say, and it's not getting nowhere. It becomes a lot of bad blood, and the child just doesn't see their other parent for months or years on end, because the parents can't be responsible enough to say, you know what, let's put our differences aside. There's no reason why you haven't seen your child in this amount of months, in this amount of years, because it's something stupid.
Yes.
So, but people just need to be a little bit more conscientious and responsible.
I think
as
people
being
being petty.
Petty.
Yeah. And also, one more thing. Remember this: the kids are coming into a new environment. Okay, they're coming into where they have to live with a brand new man or a brand new lady who they haven't been living with. So they're gonna have to have.
No, 9 times out of 10, they probably been living with that person.
Well, okay. Well, in that case, okay. But if they haven't been living in a house with someone, then those kids, then they gotta adjust.
They gotta
really adjust to. Well, I gotta live with so and so. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he likes the dishes washed by 5 o'clock at night, or she likes the dishes washed.
That's a big adjustment for a child.
It is. So you have to give the kids
time.
So if that's the case, and if they're acting out, then kind of take that into consideration, that they're still adjusting to, as well as the man or either the stepdad or the stepmom, they're still adjusting to them as well. So,
and I probably would. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I would probably try to seek a little bit of counseling for them too, just to help them to adjust. People are saying, especially like people of color, we always say, "Oh no, they just need to be in," or they just need this, or they just acting out. So you can't do that. We don't know what these kids' minds are dealing with these days. You have to really sit and talk to them. And if you don't, schedule a meeting for them to talk to somebody. Oh, sorry, y'all. You got cut off. But anyway, like I was just saying, have somebody sit with them. Do like a family counseling thing where everybody is in the session. If it's not once a month. So if y'all have any problems within the adults, y'all can all sit and hash out y'all problems without the children, with the children, and y'all could get all of that. Because if it's gonna work, if y'all gonna stay a blended family, y'all all gonna have to get it together and quickly to make the relationship work. It's time and time again. People are just fed up with being in a blended family because the kids are not respecting them, because y'all just juggling them and y'all just passing them from one place to the next.
I think one thing that we really mentioned to start off with is, whenever you're starting a family like this, the father or the mother, they need to make sure that their kids know that they're not the reason why they're not with their real dad, or they're not the reason why they're not with their real mom. It has nothing to do with them, because sometimes kids feel like, well, my mommy and daddy didn't make it, so it must be my fault. So now they're going in with these different types of feelings.
Yep.
And they should
need to be reminded and reassured that it's
fault.
not their fault. It just didn't work out. And you don't need to go into details with what's going on. Just let them know, mommy and daddy, we're going to be together for you. We're still here for you, but we just not together. You just not see us together.
It wasn't your
fault.
Like
I said, it's going to take a minute for them to adjust to it.
It's going to be adjusted.
You're going to have to, eventually, but you're going to have to do it. And that's why I said that if me and him split up, I ain't getting in no relationship no more. I ain't getting married. I ain't doing none of that.
You love me though?
Even though my kids are older, I still won't. It's just too much. It's too much in being in a relationship, period. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's real motivational. Yeah,
We talking real talk here.
we are.
Being in a relationship is hard in itself,
is.
you know. So, but
I guess the point of your thing is once you get into it, don't expect for it to be all peaches and cream completely every single day. Understand that there's gonna be those ups and downs that you
regular
go through.
relationships with married couples that are not blended family, it's a hassle every day. It's always something. It's never like a dull moment. It's like, you know what?
But you know what? The good thing about it is, what I like is that there's blended families that came before us. There's blended families that's here now, and then there's gonna be blended families when we're gone. Which means is
Don't put gone, because I'm a vampire.
Oh, I'm sorry. So which means is what I'm trying to say is you're funny. What I'm trying to say is that a blended family can be completely successful when everybody in the party, everybody in the group is willing to work towards making this the best that it can possibly be.
Yep.
Because if you have an off balance in either the one side of the
it's
family,
gonna throw the whole
it's going
thing
to
out
throw
of
it
whack.
off. So it's going to be off. So it's going to take the maturity of the parents to make sure that, hey, we didn't make it. I don't want to be with you. I don't like you. But you know what? We got kids together, and right now they're the most important thing right now. So whatever we have to do to be functional, then let's do it.
And there's also got to be respect on all sides.
Yeah. So
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he didn't bring any kids to the relationship. He still has to respect their father, because that's their father.
Yeah.
Just like they give him respect as being their stepfather.
Exactly.
Just
They
like
have
I
to-
have to show him the father respect, because that is my children's father. Now, like I said, if things start coming up on the negative side, and that's when you go to court.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk. We're going to run our mouth. We're going to run our mouth. And all it's going to do is go back in circles. What's going to do is going to throw the kids' mind out of whack and make them even more confused.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is just, you know what? Okay, so you want to play it like that? Don't worry about
As
it.
they say.
We're going to go to the courthouse and we're going to handle it from there, Your
As they
Honor.
say.
He's not doing what he's supposed to do as their father. Financially, blase. Call it and cut it. Because all you're going to do is stress your relationship out with your kids. Your kids are going to be stressed out, and you're going to stress out your relationship with your new significant other.
I think they call it, I'm going to put.
Yeah, so basically what we're trying to say is basically just have the respect for one another, respect each other's space, and respect each other's relationship with one another, and y'all gonna be good. So
Yep, you sure would.
Yep.
It's just about respect, communication, and just willing to work together for one common goal, which is to get these kids raised and out of the home.
Yes.
In a really productive way so they can be citizens. But you don't want to ruin them. They've already in a traumatic situation. So you want to, as the parents, as the adults, this is when you calm them down and help them to still live successful lives.
Yes.
As adults, and it doesn't have to traumatize them even more than what it already is. So yeah, but it works. It just takes people willing to make it work. And you heard that from the
Can't Get Right couple. Talk to you next time. Bye.